Excellencies of the ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community, members of the Diplomatic Corps, development partners, youth and student delegates, friends from the academe and media, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to address you today in this year's ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community High-Level Forum. We truly see the value of sustaining the conduct of this activity, building on the successful leadership of Malaysia from last year's hosting. Having the platform to bring together leaders of ASEAN member states in front of local audience to highlight the commonality in the work that we all do and showcase the initiatives we undertake. This kind of activity presents an avenue to start conversations and gain new perspectives in dealing with the multiple concerns of the region. For ASEAN community to appreciate and really be involved. At the heart of our commitments and priorities lies one fundamental principle: the quality of life of our peoples. Every economic policy we shape and every intervention we implement directly influences the living conditions of the poor and sectors in vulnerable situations. However, challenges continue to threaten the day-to-day situation of our populations, making it difficult to change the tide of present-day circumstances. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are at a complex crossroads, dealing with multiple and intersecting crises that greatly hinder the enjoyment of the rights of our people. Inequalities are unfortunately widening, not by design, but by circumstances. The effects of climate change have become today's reality. This is further complicated by economic loss, where Asia was tagged as the most disaster-hit region, from weather and water-related hazards. Reports also showed that world temperatures are expected to increase by 1.5 degrees Celsius and a temperature over pre-industrial levels during the next 20 years, potentially putting more people at risk or more extreme heat waves, longer monsoon seasons, and the rising droughts. These will certainly have a domino effect and cost, if not worsen, displacement, food insecurity, and poverty. Our interventions and systems are expected to be put to the test during these trying situations, considering that current capacities of our social protection systems are held back by persistent gaps in coverage, adequacy, and financing. Excellencies, indeed, the issues we face are not merely complex. They are what experts call wicked problems. Wicked problems are deeply interconnected, constantly evolving, and resistant to single sector or short-term solutions. Each of these challenges reinforces the other. Excellencies, these are problems no member state can resolve alone. With these wicked problems that continue to affect the region, we are once again reminded of our role to strengthen our collaboration towards a resilient and people-centered community. Thus, today's forum, we shall navigate together complex and multifaceted issues, and we know how member states explore potential solutions to address the most pressing problems we constantly grapple with. We are now provided with the opportunity to directly hear from ASEAN member states through their ministers and head of delegations, as we answer difficult questions and highlight efforts of the ASEAN community amidst these trying times. We shall bring to the fore our experiences, insights, and vision, while bearing in mind the true reason why we come together today, the people of ASEAN. Excellencies, truly, ASEAN stands at a pivotal position as we steer and influence the discourse on how we can further empower families and communities, taking into account our shared regional agenda. Aligned with the ASEAN Community Vision of 2045, our discussions are a testament of our commitment to foster social inclusion, protect the vulnerable groups, and promote a sense of shared identity and community. The strength of ASEAN has always rested on cooperation, dialogue, and mutual respect. In confronting the challenges of our time, we must deepen these traditions and translate them into bold, coordinated action. At the same time, it is important that we zero in and bank on the experience of our communities and our indigenous knowledge, and grassroots lessons to remain responsive to the current landscape of social development. It is important for us to acknowledge that there is no monopoly of knowledge. As we listen to our leaders, each presentation and conversation carries the stories of ASEAN peoples. With this realization, their voices need to be effectively represented in each discussion. For at the end of the day, it is them who will reap the fruits of our initiatives. Let this forum serve as a platform not only for discussion, but for meaningful commitments. Let us leverage on collective experience and shared innovative practices, and strengthen partnerships across governments, development institutions, civil society, academia, and the private sector. Above all, let us again remain guided by the very reason we gather today, for the betterment and empowerment of ASEAN peoples. Excellencies, when we navigate our future together with solidarity and purpose, we ensure that no one is left behind, and that every ASEAN citizen can look ahead with hope and aspiration. Thank you, and I wish us all a productive and forward-looking forum. Maraming salamat. Good morning to all.